Maaco today and get your dream paint job during their tax season sales event. I'm Doug Gottlieb filling in for Colin. This is The Herd on Fox Sports Radio, Fox Sports 1, along with Joy Taylor. Let's welcome in Steven Jackson, NBA champion. Of course, played 14 seasons in the NBA. Let me start with college basketball before we work our way back to LeBron, because we did just see Zion Williamson. And you and I have discussed this. You've discussed it on air on how you would have gotten to play at Arizona and win a national championship. What's your takeaway from the Zion Williamson experience watching him play at Duke?
Well, first I want to send a shout out to Nipsey Hussle family. We lost a pioneer in our culture yesterday, so I want to send love to him and his family. Zion Williamson is special. He's very special. Something we never seen before. I think to be 280, 40 plus inch vertical, been able to dominate in college every game, even though they didn't win. He was dominant his whole time. I think this kid is special. I think the sky's the limit for him. And he's going to take over the NBA similar to what LeBron did. What is he in the NBA? What is he?
Yeah.
I think he's a power forward, and at three is sometimes. He can play center in this league now, too.
Small ball five, right?
Small ball five, definitely. But I think what he needs to add is a mid-range game. And one thing about when he gets to the NBA, everybody's athletic. Everybody's tall. Everybody can block your shot. Everybody can jump with you. He's going to have to get a mid-range game and add some more offensive moves to his game. He won't be able to overpower everybody like he did in college.
Yeah, I believe the stat I saw was 0 pull-up jump shots.
Right.
The entire season.
Right.
Like he was either catching, shooting, or he was going.
Right.
But he does have, I'll tell you what, he does have a good post game for a young guy. And, one of the things that so many of the small ball fives don't have is they become, face up shooters. They can guard post players, but he can actually score. One-on-one in the post, he's really agile for a man of his strength.
Just the athleticism.
Yeah.
And like I said,
but it's not just vertical. Like he moves laterally really well.
Yeah. And like you said, I think the move against UCF when he spun and got the N1 on the 7-footer, you've seen how he was able to stop and go into a second move. He has a lot of stuff that you can't teach.
Why do you think the one-and-dones, the two schools that have produced the most one-and-dones, Duke and Kentucky,
right, have
not had more success in the NCAA tournament?
Good question. I think a lot of these kids are still young that first year, so, the college is different to them. That's just like being in the NBA. Your rookie year is going to be different to you. But I love the fact when kids can go out of high school. I mean, you can get a job and work at McDonald's at 16, 17. Why you can't go play a game? You can go to war and kill yourself at 18, but you can't provide and play basketball games. So I think guys, they should kill that rule. I mean, if you're physically able to play the game of basketball at 18 and go to the NBA like LeBron did, like Kobe did, I mean, like a lot of guys did, I think you should be able to. I don't think you should be forced to go to college.
Well, there's two different parts to that. First, I mean, actually could go out. You could go to the G League. You've always been able to go to the G League or go play overseas. And obviously it's a collectively bargained upon rule. It's an NBA rule, as you know, not a college basketball rule.
Just like working at McDonald's, though. Same paycheck.
I understand, but I'm saying people hold the NCAA accountable for something that the NBA and the NBAPA agreed upon.
No
correct?
question. Right.
Right? They're like, well, that's an NCAA. Like, no, it's not. Actually, it's actually an NBA rule. And the problem is not the LeBrons and the Kobes. The problem is all the other dudes that think they're LeBrons and Kobes and are really not.
Well, you can't say that because I was the second to the last pick. I didn't go to college.
Right.
I was the second to the last pick, and nobody expected me to make it 14 years. So you have some guys that people expect not to make it and make it, but at the same time, it has a lot to do with the people around them. I was blessed. I came into the league with Stephon Marbury, Johnny Newman, Sherman Douglas. My second year was Steve Kerr, Tim Duncan, Danny Ferry, Steve Smith. So I played with great coaches and around great guys. But when you have a lot of these guys, let's say a kid like Devin Booker.
Yeah.
He's more mature. I'm just using as example. If he came into the league as a young kid on a team like Phoenix that wasn't winning, it would be hard for him because he has no veteran on the team. They're not winning, so everything is being nitpicked. It's going to be harder for him to succeed. But when you put a kid like that in a good environment, on a good organization that's used to winning, that knows how to mentor him, it's a different situation.
Steven Jackson joining us here in the herd. All right, let's get to some NBA stuff. The Lakers have decided to shut LeBron down. First thing to me is that's a tough sale to your season ticket holder. Well, not only are you not going to see LeBron in the playoffs, but you're not going to see LeBron the rest of the way. Is this a smart decision to shut him down?
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't you? Okay, so You let him play, pulls an Achilles or anything in the last 4 or 5 games. What are you going to tell your fans going to the next season? Your season is really shot. You really don't have no hope. Rest him. Start building for next year. It don't make no reason for him to go out there and get hurt. You're not playing for anything.
Who's to blame in the pecking order of who's most to blame for this? What can only be deemed as a disastrous season? Who do you put up top? Who do you put beneath them? How does it go? Are
they all in the same boat? You can't point the finger at Magic. You can't point the finger at LeBron. You can't point the finger at Luke. You know, everybody's a part of the blame. You know, the young guys didn't develop like they thought. LeBron, he walked into a rude awakening. He didn't know he didn't know the Western Conference was this deep and this good. Luke Walton, I've been said it, but he's not the coach for these guys. So a lot of stuff, you can't just blame one person. A lot of stuff went wrong, and you know, that's why the season ended up the way it did.
See, I start with the premise that Magic screwed it up at the initial meeting because he didn't bring Luke. Like, look, if you're not going to bring Luke to the meeting, then you should have fired Luke then, right? If you're not going to bring him to the meeting, if he's not going to be part of the sale for your team. You've essentially told LeBron, like, our coach, the coach doesn't matter.
Right.
And LeBron's a smart dude. Like, he senses, like, wait, Luke's not here. He really doesn't matter. And anyone reads the situation. And then, you know, the personnel they picked. Like, right? Like, I'm with Joy. Joy's right. Injuries played a major factor. They were playing well. They were top 7 in every defensive metric. They were a playoff team. And they were getting more and more cohesive, learning to play with LeBron James. We can't undersell the injuries. But even without the injuries, like, look, they let Brook Lopez go, and they thought, you know, JaVale McGee and Tyson Chandler, who's just washed, like, you know, like, then mid-season even they trade away Zubac, who was their best big guy. He's only 21 years old and rookie control contract. Like, the personnel has been a major, major factor.
Yeah, and this is the first year we've seen LeBron go 28-27. You know, his record on the court, and you know, like you said, injuries had a lot to do with it. You can't expect that your season to go the way you want it to when you don't know what guy's going to be in the lineup. You know, and I think not having Lonzo Ball had a lot to do with it too.
Sure.
You know, but like I said, people keep that same energy. It happens. People been waiting all this time to bash LeBron, to have something bad to say about him. This man had been in the finals his whole career, but you know, he just came into a rude awakening. The Western Conference is a different monster, LeBron. You got to know that.
Lost in all of this, because we're so focused on LeBron, there's a lot of talk of the MVP, is the Thunder have gone from a team that, you know, I thought had a chance to maybe not beat the Warriors, but maybe the best chance to stretch out the Warriors, right? You got a superstar player in a Russell Westbrook. You got a superstar player in a Paul George who's playing at an MVP level. You got a big physical team. They can place. They have a small ball lineup as well. And they got Dennis Schroeder, who was a starting point guard last year, kind of off the bench to come in and change what they look like in the fourth quarter. What's happened?
To me, I was at their last game against Golden State. Last home game. To me, first of all, they don't have any shooters. The team is not that good to me. When they were rolling and winning those games, you got 2 players that was just dominant. Like you said, Paul's having an MVP year. During that time before All-Star break and right after All-Star break, when they was winning all those games, him and Russ were dominant.
Yeah.
When those 2 guys aren't dominant, the rest of the guys, they have no shooting. They have a guard on their team that they're paying $80 million that gets hack-a-shacked. Are you kidding me? So we got shooting forwards getting hack-a-shacked in the NBA now? This is what it's come to. So they have no shooting. Ferguson can't really shoot. He's an athlete, but he can't really shoot. Their third best player is Steven Adams, and he don't really want the ball. He want to do the dirty work.
Right.
So the team is talented. They have 2 talented players in Russ and Paul, but when they're not going, it's impossible. The team is not good.
Steven Jackson, NBA champion, 14 seasons in the NBA, and always giving us that sage wisdom. Jax, great stuff. So
Thanks
so much.
Me, man.
Let's get to Joy Taylor with the news.